a little bit of weight on the line? Yeah, I think it is. No great rattle though, is there? Please don't be a dogfish. Got some of these luminous weights today. They possibly make a difference, don't they? Plaice being sight feeders. Difference between these, some of these will roll, so if we're in a good tide that'll add a little bit of movement to the bait, and we've got the usual grip lead, so I'm going to start off with this one. I think give it a go. Lug in various stages. These are gutted lug. I've got some ungutted, juicy ones as well. I've got to be careful not to mix them up, but I've also got salted lug. These last a lot longer. You can actually leave them, as long as you salt them fresh, I think you can leave these, you know, and they'll still work. So I think we'll be trying all three today. Big choice of rigs today for Plaice. All sorts of different beads. We've got different colours of beads, different colour sequins as well. We're using Cox and Rule. A lot of people swear by black and yellow, black and green. John from Cornwall was saying around the mussel beds black and green are pretty good, and Alan reckons white. These are all luminous ones as well, so we'll give those a go. I've actually got this Cox and Rule Plaice rig as well, and that's similar to a lot of the ones I make up. Most of these are size 2 on Cascade rigs with the springs on them. I just like a nice little neat bait, but we're going to start with the orange colour to start off with. We've got a little wishbone rig on here. Right, keen to get going. It's quite a long trace, you'll see when I cast. I've got a baiting needle here of the worm. I am starting to get my own lug now. I've been digging down there. Not better, right. And there we go. So you could stuff 1 or 2 worms on there. We're just going to a little hole in there, and that goes on the point of the hook. And with the worm already on it, I tried to do it without the worm on it the other day. What I am hoping today is that the old dogfish don't get in first. They're such aggressive feeders, the dogfish. They take these lovely lugworm that are intended for the Plaice. Just going to tip those two then with a couple of these firmer lug. You know, with Plaice they do take shellfish as well. You can always tip these with shellfish. There you go. Just tip those on there and then take the bead. Bead's got a stop knot on there, just take that down. That's it, you can leave it jangling. So the wishbone rig comes off the bottom, so when you do catch a fish you've got the weight there, and about 4 foot. It's quite long, but in order to tie it down a little bit better, we've got a Cascade swivel here on the rig. You've got a Cascade swivel there. The line loops over, sometimes called a loop rig, and then these 2 hooks clip on to the weight. A little bit fiddly, especially in front of the camera. There's a little stop knot on there. That's quite neat. I'll see how that moves around in the tide. And then this is one I've made up. These are the Cox and Rule. Do you know what? I'm going to have to put it underneath because I've forgotten what they are. You see that they're slightly offset, super sharp. and these are size 2 hooks, good for the Plaice. UV light on here, I don't know whether that makes any difference. It will make it glow underwater for a bit longer, I suppose. Sometimes just leave that in the tackle box shining while I set the rod up. Always worth to carry a little bit of spares just in case you've made a mistake with the rigs or you need to retie a little thing. Other than that, I'll try and make up all the rigs before I come and just concentrate on the fishing. See, I say it's looking better. It'll probably be a rockling. No, confidence, that's what we want today. A bit more optimistic about the angling. I've noticed a lot of pessimism, sometimes confidence can take you a long way. That's definitely a Plaice. Or is it? But I'm not going to wait, I'm going to feel what's on there. They're really small hooks though, so hopefully there's a Plaice. Let's have a look. I think it might be a dogfish. Reasonable size though. Out into a little bit of tide now. You can see that. You can see it sort of bouncing a little bit. Not necessarily a fish unless it goes right down, but that's good. We're into some faster running water. Certainly you can hit that tide a bit and it might pick up a face or two. So quite like the look of that. Silly now. It seems a bit pointless continuously baiting up for these dogfish. I don't want to be fishing the first of the flood, so we're going to move to a different location further down the coast, maybe find some clearer water. So the tide here is really strong. I made a bit of a mistake. I didn't realise it would whip round so much, so we've got a groin to the left of us. The yellow rod's got a grit lead, the black rod I've cast right the way up there, and it will swing round, but I think it's swung round a little bit too much. And then the other rod on the left has gone way past the groin, so you just fish the other side of the groin. At the moment it's okay because we're right on low tide, but I often think when you've got a bigger bait like that, you need to give the fish a bit more time, smaller fish, because you know they could be eating this bit, they could be going for bits off the side, so it's all very well having a nice dangly bait. You need to give the fish a bit of time, I think. It'd be better presented, wouldn't it? Oh, hey, get off, Melly, no. We have our place at last. It's only a small one, but it's brought a friend as well. Always with the dogfish. But we'll forget about the dogfish for now. Just nice to have the place. These hooks, I mean, these are Cox and Rule hooks. They're just so good. A new favourite hook. Dogfish will go back, so will the Plaice. No, no, no. What I've done there is I've just cut the hook, found the hook through the gill, cut the hook and quickly take that bit out. Now that was on the rolling lead I started the video off with. I wonder if that makes a difference. That rod behind me, the yellow one, might be getting buried. We'll check it in a minute. But I'm going to cast this one up. You see how my enthusiasm's picked up after a catch. Always use scissors. Okay, I'm going to rebait this one. I'm going to cast up tide and just try and replicate the same thing. They were just on the gutted lug, so I'm going to put gutted lug on again. So these are clipped now, little bullet baits. Easier for the fish to hook. So I'll cast this one out and then I'm going to have a look here because I think that one's bumping a bit now. Haha! Nelly, the dog. She's alright, she sort of likes the water. She's a cross between a King Charles Spaniel and a pug. I think she gets her funny face from the pug. Alright, she's alright. She could be a little bit more, what's the word, robust, I suppose. You're whining a bit cold, aren't you? Prefer to have your tummy tickled than anything else. Off you go. There's actually some bait fish in the water. I was bringing the lug bait in and some bait fish scattered. Makes me think about lure fishing. I have got the lure rod in the car. Oh, so fresh, gutted or salted lugworm. We've only got a small bit of a test here because we've only caught one. What's your favourite? There's pros and cons, aren't there? It's easier to hook those gutted lug, as you've seen. I'd just be interested to know what would you prefer given a choice. Can make a much better bait and doesn't sort of bunch up on the hooks. Maybe it's my bait presentation that's doing that. Can I ask you a favour? I don't normally ask. Subscribe to this channel. It really helps fishing generally. It helps YouTube recognise sea fishing as a sport, sea fishing as something that people are interested in. So when you subscribe, you're sort of almost voting for fishing. And not just me, any channels that you've been watching that you want updates from. It's always best to subscribe and hit the notification button underneath as well. So you'll be shown more sea fishing things, if you like it. If you don't like it, don't worry. But yeah, I'd love you to subscribe. About 3 and a bit hours into the flooding tide. I'm just noticing that the tide's changed. When we first started, obviously the baits were being swung right the way round, right to left, but now we're in the middle of the tide and just starting to move back, and we're almost holding, or at least the line is pretty much straight out. Whether that makes a difference to the fishing, I don't know. Pier in the distance, we're just fishing east of that. Maybe it's just the rolling one, isn't it? The left one on the left, the yellow greeny type colour. I've been catching all those dogfish. It was really nice to catch a Plaice, even a small one. So far we've only had one. Sea temperature come up a little bit. Yeah, so I had a little early elation, didn't I? Catching that Plaice that wasn't a dogfish. Still came in with a dogfish. A bit more complicated. This is a wishbone, but we've got a cascade swivel, single green beaded snood, and then that on the wishbone on the end. It all ties in together. It's a bit complicated, but black and green beads. Found it a little bit easier just when you've got cascade swivels, hooking it onto the tripod like that, and then each cascade can be moved on the power gun stop knot. So as long as we learn something from each trip, I think that's got to be a positive. Little bits about baiting up, the type, quality of the bait. I do often wonder whether really blasting it out is going to see a few more fish. So lots more questions, but hopefully some Plaice fishing answers as well today. Anyway, let's see. These might come back with a fish on it, you never know. Well, thanks for watching. You can subscribe here, and this video is what YouTube really wants you to see next for some reason.